chill. Yeah.
How amazing is that? I've got channel art, fan art. BJ, thank you so much. That was the most amazing surprise to see. I absolutely love it. You can see I'm made up. I can't believe I've got like a caricature display model behavior fan piece. So awesome. Guys, why are we here? It is going to be another epic video. 101 facts about Marvel Legends. So take off your pants, crack a beer and get comfortable because we're here for the long haul. Folks, before I get started, if you like what you see here and you want to see more, click the subscribe button and the like button and the notification bell. Really helps the algorithm slam all my videos right in your face. And also, if you like what you see here and you also want to see even more and help out the show, then you can go to patreon.com/display model behavior and throw a few shekels my way. And finally, most of the photography on here, not all of it, but most of it, is from marvellegends.net. Oh my giddy lord, if you want an archive of like all the Marvel Legends and incredible photography, real up close and personal, like really cool stuff, check out marvellegends.net. Alright guys, enough preamble, let's start the show. 101 facts about Marvel Legends. Let's do it! Number 1. Fact number 1 is all about one of our very first figures, Toad from the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. And that's what the fact is about, the fact that they were called the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. And it seems kind of silly that a group would call themselves evil. No one considers themselves to be evil. Everyone thinks that they are in the right. So rather than retconning this in later years, Marvel kind of owned it and said, no. The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants called themselves that as kind of like a jab at all those people who called them evil. It's like, oh, you want to call us evil? Fine. We're the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. I kind of like that. Rather than pretending it didn't happen, they actually said, no, it did happen, and that's why. Speaking of Toad, Toad was played in the first X-Men movie by martial arts master Ray Park, who just so happened to go to the same martial arts school as yours truly. One of us went on to star in A-list Hollywood films, the other one has over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think we all know who did better. It was him, wasn't it? Yeah, richer and more successful. Shouldn't have gone that route. Fact number 3! Very early on, we got our first movie tie-in figure with the Ben Affleck Daredevil figure. It wasn't an MCU figure as such. The MCU didn't even exist back then. Yeah, can you believe that there was a time when the MCU didn't exist? Crazy, I know. But yes, we got the Daredevil Ben Affleck figure, which I feel was a highly underrated movie. A lot of people hate that movie, but I got a lot of time for it. Still, one of the best Kingpins. Fact number 4. Gambit was the first X-Men legend to have a cloth cape, a cloth accessory. Well, I say cape, it was his trench coat. But still, this is something that didn't really seem to catch on all that much, as cloth accessories were phased out very quickly. And personally, I'm not mad about that, because I don't know, maybe it's my brain, but I like my plastic figures, and cloth, it looks like two things that shouldn't be together. I don't know. I like one thing one place, one thing the other, and never the twain shall mix, and that's just who I am. Fact number 5. Elektra was the first female Marvel legend. I know I might be clutching at straws for facts, and a lot of these are more opinions than facts, but hey, you come here for the bants. And I gotta say, Hasbro did a good job of creating or recreating a female-looking face. It's not easy to do. You always get that mannequin look if you're not careful. That's something that Hasbro today still sometimes struggle with. I'm looking at you, Songbird. Fact number 6. The Punisher was the first Marvel legend to have realistic guns as accessories. This might seem like a dubious kind of fact, but it's not uncommon for guns to be sort of swapped out and like exchanged for less realistic or violent looking things. I remember in the 90s animated Spider-Man show, they weren't allowed to have guns. It had to be lasers and, you know, more kiddie friendly sort of things. So it was kind of cool that Toy Biz were like, nope, he's the Punisher. He's going to be packing some serious heat. And that was kind of cool. Fact number 7. The X-Men box set illustrated the first time that Hasbro went, you know what? We could release one figure that everyone really wants and pack them in with a group of other figures they already have. And then in order to get the one figure they want, they're going to have to buy 4 that they already own. And someone in the marketing room went, that is straight up evil. Let's do it! So therefore we got the X-Men box set with a bunch of repaints and one figure that you haven't had before. And us Marvel Legends collectors went, Hasbro, you suck for doing that. Now shut up and take my money. Fact number 8. Hot off the heels of the X-Men box set was the Urban Legends box set, which again, we had 3 figures that we already owned, but we also had Spider-Man, like the #1 franchise player of the Marvel Universe. So granted, you know, the other characters were repainted or had different accessories, so that was something, but still, Hasbro were basically saying, you want Spider-Man? Pony up the dough, pal. Fact number 9. Next up, we got our first ever Venom, and therefore, obviously, our first ever symbiotic character. Our first symbiote holder. It only makes sense that it would be Venom. And boy, did that open the floodgates, and ever since, symbiotes have been a staple of the Marvel Legends line. And I'm not mad about that, because symbiotes look badass. Most recent addition to my collection is the Toxin symbiote. Whoo boy, that is a highlight of the shelf. Fact number 10. The Fantastic Four box set was our first Walmart exclusive box set. For folks in the UK, exclusives are not really a problem because they all go to the same online retailers here. We just go online and order them. I hear about everyone in America having to like drive from store to store and look up like SKU numbers and really go on like a hunt for them, and it's like, boy, that sounds like a lot of work. Fact number 11. Galactus was our first ever BAF, and oh my goodness, what a way to start the BAF lineage that has gone on for year after year after year. We have so many BAFs now, and what's really amazing is that the very first one, Galactus, still, in this guy's opinion, holds up as one of the best BAFs they've ever made. Fact number 12. 2005, the inaugural year for BAFs, was an amazing time because we got arguably the 3 biggest, most impressive BAFs all together in one year. We had Galactus, we had Apocalypse, and we had the Sentinels. And what a genius idea of Hasbro to make Sentinels as a BAF. That's like an army builder right there. You're gonna get people buying multiple waves just to get numerous Sentinels. That's, there's a reason that you earn your money, Hasbro. It's like, okay, you deserve that. Fact number 13. You'll see here we have the Maestro figure, or the Maestro figure? I never really know how to pronounce that properly. But either way, this is a figure that is like such a popular and awesome rendition of a future version of the Hulk. It baffles me that we haven't actually seen a redo of this yet, especially on the 80th Hulk body, which is just begging to be customized with all the trophies that the Maestro holds from his fallen hero victims. So Hasbro, as a plea from me to you, give us a Maestro Deluxe figure. Fact number 13, and you'll see as this list goes on, they're not so much facts as just little opinions that I have about the figures. And hey, let's face it, if it's my opinion, then obviously it's fact. It's my show. Oh, this show is sponsored by Slow Gin. I should edit this out. This video is going to be long enough already. Nah, I don't edit anything. Fact number 14. Fact number 14 is that we got the Versus 2 packs, which pitted a Marvel hero against his arch nemesis. And in the case of the Hulk, it teamed him up against the Leader. And this figure is kind of amusing simply because he has become known over time as Testicle Head Leader, for obvious reasons. You know, honestly, if your testicles look like that, you should probably see a doctor. Or at least get some penicillin. Fact number 15. The Young Avengers box set has what I think is the first gay couple in the Marvel Legends collection, canon. You've got Hulkling and Wiccan, although at the time I think he was known as Asgardian. But I think it's really cool that you've got that representation there in Marvel Legend form, and it kind of sucks that I don't have those guys in my collection. I kind of want to have that representation there. So ideally, if Hasbro could throw me a bone and give us a redo of Wiccan and Hulkling, or in like a wedding 2-pack? Oh man, that would make the romantic in me just do backflips. Hasbro, you know what to do. Get on it. Fact number 16. Appropriately enough for Halloween just around the corner, dating this video, Hasbro gave us a full Monsters box set, which was really cool. We got Dracula, Frankenstein, the Werewolf by Night, and the Marvel Zombie. There is an actual Marvel Zombie. I think this is super cool, and what's great is that these figures actually hold up really well over time, I guess because they're monsters and meant to look kind of weird, but a lot of scuttlebutt in the Marvel Legends community is that we are overdue some new monsters. So again, with the please Hasbro, come on, give us a Monsters box set. Fact number 17. Fact number 17 is that the Loki figure from Toy Biz simply puts the more recent Hasbro option to shame. This is just a great example of how, a lot of people say, oh, Toy Biz don't hold up that well. Well, I present to you Exhibit L for Loki. The Toy Biz Loki has so much going on there with a beautiful cape and all these layers to his costume, the big horns. There's so much effort and time that has gone into making this a great figure. And then you've got Hasbro Loki, which is just a cheap-ass repaint with a new head. Boy, did you guys phone it in. What do I always say? Someone went home early that day. Fact number 18. We got a Build-A-Figure of Mojo from the Mojoverse, a gigantic, hideous, gelatinous creature that's obsessed with television and cheap ratings, and honestly, I get enough of that from watching American politics, so I don't want that guy on my shelf. Maybe it actually makes me really sort of shallow or aesthetic, but seriously, the character looks so gross, it's an amazing sculpt, that I'm like, no, he's too ugly for my shelf. I just want some pretty characters. Fact number 19. Further damning me as being purely all about aesthetics, we have the MODOK BAF, the mechanized organism designed only for killing or computing, depending on what your audience is. But this is just further evidence that I'm a very shallow person, because I had so many opportunities to get the MODOK BAF, and it's such a, important character in Marvel, but I'm like, nah, too ugly. He says with Sugar Man right next to him. Sugar Man's okay, he's Age of Apocalypse, he gets a pass. Fact number 20. Toy Biz gave us a Mandarin figure, which is a fun figure, but personally I would love a proper Ben Kingsley Mandarin that comes with accessories, like a deluxe Mandarin who has, some drugs and strippers that come with him to really just build out that character. One thing that I really love that, you can kind of forgive Marvel for the Mandarin swerve, is that in the Hail to the King short, they reveal that the Mandarin, the real Mandarin, actually does exist in the Marvel Universe. So anyone who was upset about them kind of, doing the Mandarin and Injustice is like, no. The Mandarin is legit, and he's out there, and he doesn't take kindly to Ben Kingsley sort of, making fun of him. Fact 22. Fact 22 is that we got an X3 Beast action figure, which I kind of love just because essentially it is a Kelsey Grammer Marvel action figure, because underneath all that makeup and prosthetics, you have Fraser Crane, and I just love that. Whenever I look at that Beast action figure, I can just hear him going, Niles? Anyway, that's a good one. Fact 23. Toy Biz, as a special edition, gave us a silver, adamantium-looking Wolverine, which is kind of cool because they predicted the future. They predicted the Death of Wolverine story where he dies encased in adamantium. So, more effective than The Simpsons. The Simpsons didn't even predict that, but Toy Biz predicted the Death of Wolverine. Fact 24. Emma Frost, the White Queen, was the first Toys R Us exclusive figure. Again, another thing that doesn't really bother the UK market. We're just jumping on the internet and ordering our figures, but for those of you in the US, you better get in your cars and spend some gas money because you're gonna go toy hunting. Fact 25. Going back to the X3 world, because who doesn't want to celebrate that movie, we got a Juggernaut Vinnie Jones figure. And again, kind of like Kelsey Grammer, because the face is so accurate, it's kind of funny to have a Vinnie Jones action figure. Remember, kids, in the 2000s when Vinnie Jones was kind of a thing? It was emotional. Fact 26. Fact 26 is further proof that I'm a horribly shallow person because it's the Blob action figure, which is in incredibly high demand. Loads of people want him for their Brotherhood of Evil Mutants collection. I'm just like, nah, too ugly. Fact 27. San Diego Comic-Con gave us our first Stan Lee figure. So we've just recently had the beautiful Stan Lee figure from the Hasbro Marvel Legends, but Toy Biz gave us a great smiling Stan the Man Lee. Fact 28. Fact 28 was that we did one time in the past get a Cannonball figure who had legs. There you go, Hasbro. I know you thought you were being really clever by doing the blasting effect. Unfortunately, I can say with some authority, I think, no one likes that. Okay? So just accept that, yeah, you know what? In future, one thing we have to do is give our characters who have legs, legs. Fact 29. Fact 29 is all about what is unanimously considered the worst BAF ever made, and that is the Spider-Man 3 Sandman, which is just a swirling mass of sand with a head on it. I see what they were going for, and no. Fact number 30. Fact number 30 is that we got a Ronin figure, but if you ask me, which you are because you're watching my show, that's not just a Ronin figure, that is our first ever Echo figure, because Echo is a character that at one point inhabited the Ronin outfit, and by the very nature of the costume you can't tell if it's male or female, and Echo is a huge fan favorite for me. I love that character, deaf superhero, Native American, really interesting heritage and history. It's kind of annoying that we haven't got a more recent figure of her. So if you want to plug that Echo hole in your collection, get Ronin and just, fudge who it is under the mask. Fact 31. The Ares series gave us our first Ben Reilly figure. Yes! I know, this probably isn't a big deal to anyone except me, but it's my show and Ben Reilly is my guy, so you better believe that is a fact worth mentioning. Fact 32. The Iron Man 3 wave gave us our first, I think, technically, our first proper MCU figures. And these were the Iron Patriot and Iron Man 3 figures, mixed in with the other ones in the wave. What was kind of lucky about this wave was that it didn't have a BAF. So if you only wanted to get the comic figures, you only had to. And if you wanted to get the movie figures, you only had to. So you weren't forced to buy both genres if you didn't want them. And somewhere, a Hasbro and Toy Biz executive was going, let me see if I can fix that. Fact number 33. We get our first Kane. And again, this is probably exciting for no one except me, because Kane is from the Clone Saga. Kane is one of the iconic Spider-Man clone brothers, and therefore that is worthy of another fact on this list. Fact number 34. This is when we get the return of Marvel Legends. And this for me is where my collecting really sort of kicks off into high gear. The previous generations are like the cultivating building blocks, the primordial soup of Marvel Legends. And the return of Marvel Legends is where I base right, boom, this is my starting point. I want everything from here. Fact 35. What you see before you is the red costume Daredevil. And what's baffling and fact-worthy is that this is the only red costume Daredevil that we get for 5 years, up until now, the time of this video in 2020. We've only had this one red costume Daredevil. And all I'm saying is that he's very hard to find now, very expensive, and he's a big hole in my collection that I really need to fill. Fact 35. We had another Toys R Us exclusive wave, and even though being Toys R Us exclusive would make all of these figures kind of sought after and hard to come by, the one that stands out above all else is Strife. This guy, probably just because he looks really cool with his huge spiky armor and that classic overly designed Rob Liefeld kind of thing going on there, is in incredibly high demand and incredibly expensive to get hold of. So if you've got a Strife in your collection, more power to you. Fact number 37. Here we have the Carol Danvers action figure. And this is where I simply say it's the start, or a symbolic start, of Marvel pushing this character down our throats. And I'm not a Captain Marvel hater. It's just, she suffers from that John Cena effect, where it's like, this character's quite good. This is fairly popular. So take all the Captain Marvel! And it's like, no, we just want some Captain Marvel. Stop trying to build your whole world around them. It's not happening. Stop trying to make Captain Marvel a thing. Fact number 38. Fact number 38 points out to us the dangers of concept art with Superior Spider-Man. See, this is a character that I give out about a lot because he does not properly resemble the character in the comics, but there is a good reason for that, which is these figures take so long to make and they want to be timely that very often they are based on concept art or early promo art that is eventually changed and modified so that by the time the figures come out, they no longer represent what is actually in the comic books, as is the case with Superior Spider-Man. Fact number 39. Spider-Man 2099 was our first 2099 Marvel Legends action figure. And I'm surprised that we haven't got more because there's so many fun, crazy designs from the 2099 universe. Although, it kind of makes you not believe that 2099 was a thing, that none of the characters went back to the 616 timeline and were like, dude, watch out for 2020, alright? Just stay at home and don't let this thing happen. Of course, by that I mean model behavior. Fact number 40. Fact number 40 is simply we got an incredible Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider figure, and oh my goodness, this guy is a wonderful representation of everything that is great and some would argue bad. Personally, I love about the 90s. It's different versions of familiar heroes who have been jazzed up and made modern. And in Ben Reilly's case, it's pockets, pouches, and a torn off hoodie. And for me, I bloody love it. Fact 41. Fact 41, we have the Rogue figure from the Juggernaut wave, one that was incredibly high demand and was such a grail for so many people. And then Hasbro, a lot of people felt like they really trolled us by hinting that they were going to re-release her and then finally re-releasing her. And the first image that we have is of a really bad looking face. People are like, oh, what? Come on. But I can say I have just seen a video review of her in hand and I can officially confirm right here, the face does not look so bad. 2020's not being that kind to us, but at least we've got a decent looking Rogue re-release. Fact 42. Also from that wave, we have the Deadpool figure, which is a great figure with so many accessories. It's what a figure should be. My only gripe with it is that it has a bazooka with a boxing glove on the end. And that for me is peak wackiness of why I don't like Daredevil. Daredevil? Deadpool. Sorry, it's the slow gin. It affects some things fast. But that's what I can't stand about Deadpool is the wackiness. And it's like, where did you get that boxing glove from? Did you bring it from home? Did you pack it originally? That's the hill I'm willing to die on. That of all the things in the Marvel Universe, that breaks the reality for me. Fact number 43. We got a Build-A-Figure of Venom Space Knight, who is quite an obscure character to do a Build-A-Figure of, but that's what I kind of love. It gives me hope that we're going to get some more obscure Build-A-Figures. But the problem is, it's really hard to get hold of now, and because it's an obscure character, I never even read Venom Space Knight, so I have no affection for it, but also it's a symbiote, and it's a bath, so I must have it, but I don't want to spend the money on it. And that's where we are. Number 44. We got our first character from the Old Man Logan Wasteland storyline in Spider-Bitch. One for the swear jar. But my problem now is we have Old Man Logan with the Hawkeye in the 2-pack, which is great, but now I'm like, where am I going to put Spider B-word? Does she go in Spider-Verse because she appears in that, or do I make a new shelf of Old Man Logan? Decisions. Fact number 45. Speaking of Build-A-Figures from previously, we got an Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure, who's a great character to make a Build-A-Figure of. And even better, he has a wife, Titania, who's always paired up with him. So I thought, fantastic, I'll buy her action figure and put them together. And then one of my viewers pointed out, that's not Titania, that's Thundra, she has nothing to do with Absorbing Man. And now I have an action figure I don't want. Fact 46. Because Hasbro love to give the people what they want, they gave us another Ben Reilly action figure. This time, the Sensational Spider-Man, one of my all-time favorite figures. No other facts about that besides the fact that, oh my goodness, Ben Reilly deserves all the recognition he can get. Fact number 47. Mafex have just announced a Ben Reilly Sensational Spider-Man action figure in the same style of the Peter Parker Spider-Man one, and it looks beautiful, and a lot of people, I love you guys. You all messaged me saying, Dave, we know you love Ben Reilly. Mafex are doing a Ben Reilly. And I was like, oh, it's going to make me spend money on this. I probably won't though, because I'm like, it's great, but honestly, does it do anything that the Marvel Legends Ben Reilly doesn't do? I don't know. So for now, I'm gonna remain to be convinced on that one. Fact number 48. We got the Speed Demon figure, who, as I said in my previous 101 facts, came with the Silvermane head. And a lot of people have done really cool customs by popping off the head from the little buggy and putting it on an Ultron body or something similar. And then you have Cyborg Silvermane. Fact 49. We have a badass Iron Fist character, and he looks great. He's got interchangeable hands, he's got the flames, he's got the badass looking wrapped fists. What he's missing though is the 70s dropped neckline and popped collar. So all I'm saying is, the fact is, Hasbro, you need to give us classic Iron Fist. Fact number 50. We got a really good Nico Minoru Runaways figure, and the sort of fact is that we haven't got any more Runaways, so she's kind of standing on her own there, which is a shame because she looks great. Although, pro tip, if you want to at least make something more Runaways-ish, go get yourself a Velociraptor from the Jurassic Park line, pair them up together, boom, you got an extra Runaways character.
Chill.